Please, Thakurji.
Yeah, Hare Prabhuji. Sure. Thank you all for joining today. Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Let's start with the prayer to invoke the mercy of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतीरुत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी. So today we'll be reading first canto, third chapter, 21st verse. Let me share my screen. One 3.21. तथा सप्तदशे जाता सत्यवत्यां पराशरात् चक्रे वेदातरो शाखा दृष्ट्वा पुंसो अल्पमेधशः. तथा सप्तदशे जाताः सत्यवत्यां पराशरात् चक्रे वेदतरो शाखा दृष्ट्वा पुंसो अल्पमेधशः. तथा सप्तदशे जाताः सत्यवत्यां पराशरात् चक्रे वेदतरो शाखा दृष्ट्वा पुंसो अल्पमेधशः. Word by word meaning. Tata, therefore, Saptadashe in the 17th incarnation, Jatha, advented, Satyavatyam in the womb of Satyavati, Parasharat by Parashara Muni, Chakre, prepared, Veda Taro, of the desired tree of the Vedas, Shakha, branches, Drishtva, by seeing, Pumsaha, the people in general, Alpamedashaha, less intelligent. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Srila Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashara Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Purport. Originally, the Veda is one, but Srila Vyasadeva divided the original Veda into four, namely Sama, Yajur, Rig, and Atharva. And then again, they were explained in different branches like the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Vedic language and the subject matter are very difficult for ordinary men. They are understood by the highly intelligent and self-realized Brahmanas. By the present age of Kali is full of ignorant men. Even those who are born by Brahmana father are, in the present age, no better than the Shudras or the women. The twice born men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purificatory process known as samskaras. But because of the bad influence of the present age, the so-called members of the Brahmana and other high-order families are no longer highly cultured. They are called the Dvijabandhus, or the friends and family members of the twice born. But these Dvijabandhus are classified amongst the Shudras and the women. Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into various branches and sub-branches for the sake of the less intelligent classes like the Dvija Bandhus. Okay, let's start Mangalacharanam. नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जयशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you again for all joining this Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Yeah, this chapter today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.21. So this third chapter in first canto is mainly we are discussing about different incarnation, Lila Avataras particularly. So starting from four Kumaras till Balram and Krishna. So end of Dwapara Yuga. So there are multiple incarnations we have seen, like starting from first incarnation will be like we discussed about Kumaras, and then Bor and Narada Muni's incarnation, Naranarayana, Kapila, Dattatreya. So and then Rishabhadev, King Prutu, Matsya, Kurma, all avatars, like, Dhanvantari, Mohini, like this, we discussed. So, until now, 16 incarnation done, we have discussed. So, this is last incarnation was actually Parashuram, Drugapati. So, and then today we will be discussing about Vyasadev. And then next it will come, Lord Rama, and then Balram, Sri Krishna, Supreme Lord, and then Buddha, Kalki, till 2022 incarnations will be discussed in this chapter. Yeah, last previous verse, in previous verse we discussed about Lord Parashuram. So he's the actually son of Jamadagni and Renuka, who was actually annihilated administrative class in by 21 times that we have seen. Today we discussed 17th incarnation, so Vyasadeva, incarnation of Lord. So in this verse, so particularly four lines, all four lines are very much important. Tata saptadashe jatha satyavatyam parasharat. Each line we can discuss in 1 hour. So that much important. Each line. Chakre vedataro shaka drishtva pumso alpamedasha. So let's see discuss each line today. So Tato Saptadasha Jataha. So Lord Vasudeva was incarnated. So he is an empowered entity with a special potency which Lord has given for Lord Vasudeva. Vasudeva. So for benefit of people in Kali Yuga. So he has incarnated for the benefit of people in Kali Yuga particularly. So through Vyasadeva had come through Parashara Muni and Satyavati. So he is not ordinary human like us. He is actually literary incarnation of the Lord. So when we see how Vyasadeva has born, Tatha Saptadashe in Jata. Jata means it's born, right? So his background, like how did he come? He born out of Parashara Muni and Satyavati. So Parashara Muni is the father of Vasudeva. And Satyavati, actually Satyavati was the daughter of a fisherman. This is small story. I will not take much time and I will not get into much detail, but we'll see who is Satyavati. Satyavati is actually daughter of fisherman chief. So his name was Dasa. And she was actually running ferry. So taking people one side to another side of Yamuna River. She was riding boat. So when and she is also in Matsagandhi. So she was smelling like fish. So, and she was very beautiful. And when Parashara Muni was on the near river to cross Yamuna river, so and then he saw Satyavati, so who was actually riding the boat and helping the people to cross the river. So, and then she offered ride for Parashara Muni. While while they are crossing the river, Parashara Muni was actually captivated by her beauty and then the smell. So, and then Parashara Muni wanted to unite with her. So, with her beauty and the smell, and then the Satyavati says, so who says, how can I do that? So I'm unmarried maiden. So I'm belongs to fishermen. You are the sage. How that could happen? What people will think of? What they will criticize me? And then Parashara Muni says that. So based on his mystic power, he said that. So don't hesitate. I'll give you three boons, so that so the first thing is smell. She was smelling like matsya, fish smell. So Parashara Muni has given benediction that so you will get divine fragrance, which is actually kind of it is a fragrance which is like a musk. Musk means it will smell like 1 mile. So she and then second one is she'll retain the virginity, um, and then and then you will benedict with a divine son who is actually Srila Vyasadeva. So after that, she'll be agreed, and then he create out of mystic power, he create one mist in the middle of that river, in the island, and then with the glance of Parashara Muni, mist will be formed, and Satyavati got impregnated. So within few moments, so Vyasa will be appeared as a grown man in front of them. So he's not born out like as small kid like that. He born as like a grown man. So and then that is the birth of Vasudev. So his name was actually Shri Krishna actually. Krishna and full name is actually Krishna Dvaipayana. It was not Vyasa. Vyasa was given as a title. So Vyasa means actually Vyasta in Sanskrit, which is the meaning is divide the Vedas. So that's become Vyasa. His name was. So actual name was Krishna, Shri Krishna Dvaipayana. His name was when he born. And then as soon as he born, so he just as a grown man, and then he'll say to Satyavati, so whenever you need me, so I'll come. So just you call me, I'll come over, and then you'll start going to forest immediately. And then Parashara Muni will be from there that place. So Satyavati again still is normal. She's not married. She is virgin, and everything stays still retained. And then later, Satyavati, get married to Maharaja Shantanu. That story, that. So Maharaj Shantanu, she will again, she because of her beauty and all, Maharaj Shantanu was attracted her, and then he wanted to marry her, and then she asked him to get the permission from her father. Father did not agreed because um, Shantanu was already married, and there was son Bhishma Dev, right? So and then he was not agreed, and he was very sad that he is not able to get her hand. And then Bhishma Deva get to know that. So my father is very sad. So and then you get to know that because of he wanted to marry Satyavati, and then her father was not ready to give, and then he goes to Satyavati's father and asks why you are not giving your daughter to my father. And then he said all the things. So they have given condition that so if it is um, if if your father wanted to marry my daughter, so then my daughter's son should get the throne. So and then he said that okay, in that case I will not get married. So Bhishma Dev will take oath as I will not get married. Okay, and then her father was again asking, okay, you will not get married, but may your son come to get the throne. Um, you so and then no finally he agreed, so I will not get married so that I'll not get a son as well. So that was his oath, and because of for the son, for the father, son, how he is dedicated and keeping his word till the death. So that is what the that age of the people, and Bhishma Deva. So, but nowadays in Kali Yuga, so totally different. So how much in our kids are obey father's order. So that is totally different. Okay, that is about the Satyavatis and Parashar Muni and how Vasudeva was get birth out of Parashar Muni and Satyavati. And then, so next, Chakraveda Tharo Shaka. So Drushtva Pumso Alpam Vedasha. Chakraveda Tharo Shaka. So how this Vedas are divided so into four, right? It was initially only one Veda. So that was Rigveda, and then Veda was divided into four. Why did he divide the Vedas into four? Because Drushtva Pumsho Alpamedashaha. So Vyasa foresaw that. He saw that how intelligence will be diminished in the Kali Yuga, coming Kali Yuga of people. So that's what they couldn't study and memorize and understand. So this vast Vedas. So that's why, keeping in mind, Vyasdev was divided these Vedas into four: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. So just these four Vedas again. So just I'll give one line information about what are these four Vedas, right? So this Rig Veda is the oldest Veda, which is actually collection of hymns like suktas, different kind of suktas, which is dedicated to deities like different deities like Agni, Indra, and all other things. And so this is mainly for prayers and invocations of health and protection. And Yajurveda, which is mainly contains formulas and mantras to be chanted during yagnas. So yaj means actually sacred yagnas, Yajurveda, right? Which is mainly all the different mantras will be will there to chant for during yagnas. And yeah, different, and it also explains the different procedures for rituals and sacrifices. So that is about Yajurveda. Samaveda, which is known as actually Veda of melodies. So this is consists of how to sing the verses with the music, different level of musics. So and then classical music for each mantras and all other things. It's basically melodies of the mantras, how to sing and other things. That is about Samaveda. Atharva Veda is actually which is the latest, last Vedas, which is divided. It contains again mantras, and which is for the daily life, like health and peace, production, success, and all for daily life. How could be used, right? So deals with the basically spiritual knowledge and practical aspects of medicine and healing, all other things. This is mainly for daily life, how to use the mantras for daily life. So together, these Vedas actually considered as a Apaurushaya because which is not man-made. It's a revealed knowledge. That's why we call it as Apaurushaya. And they are the actually foundation of Sanatana Dharma also. And later, these four Vedas are again, made in a separate sub-branched again, and is compiled Mahabharata, Puranas, right? 18 Puranas he compiled, and then Upanishad, Vedantas, Sutras, so many other branches he compiled with the West. He compared so many knowledge, so many Vedic scriptures. So particularly, so Puranas, right, which are because of by seeing the forthcoming future generation, so they cannot understand the Vedas so easily. So then he decided to give it in a story form, different levels of information through different scriptures. Like, right, Puranas are like different story level, right? Mahabharata is something which is totally different. It's family level information, right? Family, within the family, how the fight will be, and how dharma will be, and try to teach all the things through different level of peoples in different scriptures. That's how Vedas is actually known for compiler of Vedas and all the scriptures. That's why Veda Vakya. We say that Veda Vakya. Whatever Vakya means, whatever we say, talk, right? Whatever Veda talks, that is what Veda Vakya. So no question, no doubt about whatever he says in the scripture, right? So that is what is also incarnation of Lord, right? Yeah. So ultimate purpose of this compiling Vedas are so particularly so is for the Kali Yuga people, right? So and he was not satisfied, that we all know that he was not satisfied whatever he wrote, whatever he compiled the scripture. Finally, he asked Narada Muni, "I am not satisfied with so far. I wrote all these scriptures," but Narada Muni suggested that you rewrite the glorification of the Supreme Lord. You are not glorified the Supreme Lord nicely. So please do that, then you'll get satisfied. And then we started rewriting the Bhagavata Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam. That is what we are actually reading today. So, and then finally he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. It's actually rewrote. So Srimad Bhagavatam with the glorification of Lord. So that is how Vasudev was. And then Srila Prabhupada's role, what is there in this presentation, right? So Vasudeva actually described as a seventh incarnation of the Lord. So he divided Vedas and all, Mahabharatas, everything he has done. So that will be useful for the Kali Yuga people. But Srila Prabhupada, we call it as modern Vyasa, modern age of Vyasa, right? He is carrying forward Vyasa's mission. So just as like Vasudev made the Vedas and understand for the Kali Yuga people, Srila Prabhupada translated and explained Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so many other scriptures in English with purposeful, completely practical application. It is not just, I'm writing, okay, translating only just word by word. It's not that. So he was translated completely all the scriptures into English with the practical application with the so common people understanding. So that for the particularly modern society, right? So with this purpose, so whole world has started reading the scriptures, and then they can easily understand. They can easily correlate, their daily things. So that's the reason. The Srila Prabhupada is actually modern Vyasa. So without Prabhupada, definitely you could have not able to read a proper scripture, because Sanskrit we cannot understand, and we cannot learn the Sanskrit, and then definitely we could have not get into this uh, level. And then so Vyasa Puja tradition also is continuing. So on the spiritual master appearance day, so devotees perform this Vyasa Puja and then worship Vyasadeva. So to honoring the Guru. So why? Because Guru is the representation of Vyasa. So Vyasa Pratinidhi. That is the reason. So we are continue actually every year, right? So we continue the Vyasa Puja. So to delivering the transcendental knowledge. So without such representative, definitely the Vedic knowledge would have remained locked, right? So because of Vyasadeva, we got the Vedas, and because of Srila Prabhupada, we get each and everyone in this world. So I can understand the scripture in English, right? And this is the special empowerment, right? So that is what Shaktavesh avatar. So Vyasadeva is actually Shakta, is given empowered by incarnation. So similarly, all acharyas, that Srila Prabhupada was specially empowered by Krishna so that bhakti can spread worldwide in Kali Yuga. So nobody have done earlier. So spreading this bhakti all over the world. Maybe it wasn't very limited to India and few other countries in Asia, but it never crossed that outside the countries like Western countries, Africa and worldwide, right? So that is what Srila Prabhupada did. So he has the again empowered person given that empower gave by Krishna. So and then we get really practical result by reading Srila Prabhupada. You can hear Srila Prabhupada's lecture. So you can definitely we'll get the different translation within us. So and then particularly Westerners and students, they all can read. So because in this age of Kali Yuga, we are alpa manda, alpa medasa means actually less intelligent people. So that we can easily understand Prabhupada's scripture. And then yeah, in this purport, So we have seen Varnashrama Dharma, and then Prabhupada's purport also, Prabhupada explained about why Shudras and women are called lowest intelligence. That is also as given in this purport. So only the reason is actually not for actually that intelligence. So even in the Bhagavad Gita also saying, right? So Striyo Vaishya Tatha Shudras. So women and Vaishyas and Shudras are described as lowest intelligence. So because only the reason is, so it should not be misinterpreted for different line, different way. It's because of less access to Vedic study in ancient society. That is another one of the reason that Shudras are actually is kept away from this Vedic. You know that, right? All labor category, below category. So they are completely kept away. So and then even women's also. So all are not access to Vedic study during the Vedic education, maybe during that time. And then another other thing is women's are like the dependent on the actual men, right? So when they are when they are small, they are actually protection of father. When they are grown, protection of husband, and then when they are raised, the protection their protection under their sons. So actually, that is the dependent of social position for the women's. Maybe that is also another reason. So there are multiple reasons. So and then there are some practical limitations for the women's, right? So they cannot do all the days deity worship and all other things. Also, an intelligent person who is able to control their mind with his intelligence, right? Intelligence, mind is actually, mind's activities is actually thinking, feeling, willing. So there are three activities always mind will do, but women has very harder to control her emotions than men. So this is very important point, right? So very difficult to control. They are very emotional, right? So they cannot control like as men can control the emotions. That is another reason maybe they can. Yeah, there are different uh, reasons for keeping less intelligent, not for the they are not intelligent. So no, that's why Prabhupada everything's changed in ISKCON. So all women can do even deity worship, but they can do arati. So earlier nobody even enter into the garbhagudi. Garbhagudi means at least they cannot do any priest activities now. So equally women are doing in every aspects, in everything like men. So there is no such differences between women and men. So this is okay. This is 58. So uh, yeah. So this is I'm going to stop now. So if you have any questions, please go ahead. Or any concern, any
Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions, comments, reflections? Okay, if there are no questions, let's thank His Grace Purna Prakash Prabhu for giving a nice class by chanting 3 times Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Let's offer our praise to Lord Narasimha for the protection of our congregation and entire world. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnam Julantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Muchar Namamiham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnam Julantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Muchar Namamiham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnam Julantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Muchar Namamiham. Tomorrow we will have a Bhagavatam class at 6:30 a.m. And this Sunday we are celebrating Boat Festival, inviting everybody for that festival. With that, we will conclude. We wish you a very, very happy Krishna conscious day ahead. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. भगवान श्री कृष्ण परमात्मा की जय। अमल पुराणम श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
See you tomorrow morning 6:30 a.m.